Jaekelopterus is the largest known eurypterid and the largest known arthropod to have ever existed. This was determined based on a chelicera, claw, from the Emsian-Klurf Formation of Wilwerath, Germany, that measures 36.4 centimeters, 14.3 in, long, but is missing a quarter of its length, suggesting that the full chelicera would have been 45.5 centimeters, 17.9 in, long. If the ratio of body length to chelicera length matches those of other giant pterygodids, such as Acutiramus and Pterygotus, the organism that possessed the chelicera would have measured between 233 and 259 centimeters, 7.64 and 8.50 feet, in length. With the chelicerae extended, another meter would be added to this length. This estimate exceeds the maximum body size of all other known giant arthropods by almost half a meter, even if the extended chelicerae are not included. The morphology and body construction of Jaekelopterus and other eurypterids in the Pterygotidae suggests they were adapted to a completely aquatic lifestyle. Eurypterids, such as Jaekelopterus, are often popularly referred to as sea scorpions, but the deposits from which Jaekelopterus fossils have been discovered suggest that it lived in non-marine aquatic environments. The Beartooth Butte Formation in Wyoming, where J. howelli fossils have been discovered, has been interpreted as a quiet, shallow environment. The fossil sites yielding J. rhenaniae in the Rhineland have also been interpreted as having been part of a shallow aquatic environment with brackish to fresh water. The chelicerae of Jaekelopterus are enlarged, robust, and have a curved free ramus and denticles of different lengths and sizes, all adaptations that correspond to strong puncturing and grasping abilities in extant scorpions and crustaceans. Some puncture wounds on fossils of the paraspid agnathan fish Lecreaspis patula from the Devonian of Utah were likely caused by Jaekelopterus howelli. The latest research indicates that Jaekelopterus was an active and visual predator. Fully grown Jaekelopterus would have been apex predators in their environments, and likely preyed upon smaller arthropods, including resorting to cannibalism, and early vertebrates. A powerful and active predator, Jaekelopterus was likely highly agile and possessed high maneuverability. The hydromechanics of the swimming paddles and telsons of Jaekelopterus and other pterygodids suggest that all members of the group were capable of hovering, forward locomotion, and quick turns. Megalodon. The earliest Megalodon fossils, Ototus megalodon, previously known as Carcharodon or Carcharocles megalodon, date to 20 million years ago. For the next 13 million years, the enormous shark dominated the oceans until becoming extinct just 3.6 million years ago. O. Megalodon was not only the biggest shark in the world, but one of the largest fish ever to exist. This giant shark is well known for starring in the 2018 Megalodon movie, The Meg. But in reality, these animals were a little shorter than the 23-meter-long fictional monster it depicted. Estimates suggest Megalodon actually grew to between 15 and 18 meters in length, 3 times longer than the largest recorded great white shark. It may have been comparable in length to today's biggest whale sharks, the largest of which has measured in at 18.8 meters. Without a complete Megalodon skeleton to measure, these figures are based on tooth size. Megalodon teeth can reach 18 centimeters long. In fact, the word Megalodon simply means large tooth. These teeth can tell us a lot, such as what these massive animals ate. With its large serrated teeth, Megalodon would have eaten meat, most likely whales and large fish, and probably other sharks. If you are that big, you need to eat a lot of food, so large prey is required. This would have included animals as small as dolphins and as large as humpback whales. We have other evidence of Megalodon's feeding habits in the form of fossilized whale bones. Some of these have been found with the cut marks of Megalodon teeth etched in the surface. Others even include the tips of teeth broken off in the bone during a feeding frenzy that occurred millions of years ago. In order to tackle prey as large as whales, Megalodon had to be able to open its mouth wide. It is estimated that its jaw would span 2.7 by 3.4 meters wide, easily big enough to swallow 2 adult people side by side. These jaws were lined with 276 teeth, and studies reconstructing the shark's bite force suggest that it may have been one of the most powerful predators ever to have existed. Researchers have estimated that Megalodon had a bite of between 108,514 and 182,201 newtons. A lot of reconstructions have Megalodon looking like a bigger version of the great white shark, because for a long time people thought they were related. We now know that this is not the case, and Megalodon is actually from a different lineage of shark, of which Megalodon was the last member. Paraceratherium. Paraceratherium is an extinct genus of hornless rhinoceros, and one of the largest terrestrial mammals that have ever existed. It lived from the early to late Oligocene epoch, 34–23 million years ago. Its remains have been found across Eurasia between China and the Balkans. Paraceratherium is classified as a member of the Hyracodont subfamily, Indricotheriinae. Paraceratherium means near the hornless beast, in reference to Aceratherium, a genus that was once thought similar. The exact size of Paraceratherium is unknown because of the incompleteness of the fossils. Its weight is estimated to have been 15 to 20 tons at most. The shoulder height was about 4.8 meters, 16 feet, and the length about 7.40 meters, 24.3 feet. The legs were long and pillar-like. The long neck supported a skull that was about 1.3 meters, 4.3 feet long. It had large tusk-like incisors and a nasal incision that suggests it had a prehensile upper lip, or proboscis. The lifestyle of Paraceratherium may have been similar to that of modern large mammals such as the elephants and extant rhinoceroses. Because of its size, it would have had few predators and a slow rate of reproduction. Paraceratherium was a browser, eating mainly leaves, soft plants, and shrubs. It lived in habitats ranging from arid deserts with a few scattered trees to subtropical forests. The habitat of Paraceratherium appears to have varied across its range, based on the types of geological formations it has been found in. The Sanda Gol Formation of Mongolia represents an arid desert basin, and the environment is thought to have had few tall trees and limited brush cover, as the fauna consisted mainly of animals that fed from treetops or close to the ground. The reasons Paraceratherium became extinct after surviving for about 11 million years are unknown, but it is unlikely that there was a single cause. Theorized reasons include low reproduction rate and invasion by Gomphotherophroboscidians from Africa in the late Oligocene. Gomphotheres may have been able to considerably change the habitats they entered, in the same way that elephants do today. Once their food source became scarce and their numbers dwindled, Paraceratherium populations would have become more vulnerable to other threats. Large predators like Hyenodon and Amphicyon also entered Asia from Africa during the early Miocene. These may have predated Paraceratherium calves. Other herbivores also invaded Asia during this time. Quetzalcoatlus northropi, soaring high over the tallest of treetops, snatching up an unlucky land dweller for lunch and emitting long screeches that echoed far and wide. These are a few of the images one could imagine when asked to think about pterosaurs. And for some, this might be correct. Smaller species of pterosaurs were easily capable of flight, hunting, or even scavenging in many different ways. But for other species, an air of mystery remains. Pterosaurs tend to be far more complex than people think at first. For one, they aren't even considered dinosaurs, despite living alongside them throughout the Mesozoic. For another, pterosaurs likely could have varied drastically in how they lived. Living throughout the late Cretaceous, Quetzalcoatlus northropi could grow to have a wingspan of up to 36 feet, about the size of a standard city bus. Early scientists estimated that this species of pterosaur may have weighed anywhere from 200 to 500 pounds. Like today's birds, pterosaurs had hollow bones, which made them light enough to fly. Scientists, however, are not sure if Quetzalcoatlus could take to the skies like its cousins. Even with special bones, a reptile as big as Quetzalcoatlus may have had a hard time getting up into the air. It isn't always easy for us to know how an ancient animal might have lived during its time, but a paleontologist can make educated guesses based on the bones that they study. Sometimes, the best clues lie in the animals that we have today. Quetzalcoatlus had a very long, sharp beak, similar to the storks that we know today. Based on this observation, it is commonly thought that this pterosaur may have hunted small animals on the ground, similar to storks or hornbills. Supporting this hypothesis is the front and back limbs, which suggests to many modern scientists that Quetzalcoatlus may have been more suited to walking on land than we would expect. However, this alone does not rule out flight. A more recent study revealed through a computer model that Quetzalcoatlus could have been capable of flight and likely flew in short bursts. This likely was used by Quetzalcoatlus before soaring, much like today's vultures. Even with modern technology, what we know about creatures like Quetzalcoatlus northropi still leaves plenty of mystery around the winged giant. Able to fly or not, there is no question that this pterosaur is a breathtaking reminder of the complex nature of the Mesozoic era. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to watch the other videos we made for you. Thank you.